what's up? So I've been thinking a lot about how people nowadays apply to jobs and how they're sort of either setting themselves up for success or for failure. So I essentially want to share with you 3 different ways that you can use to pretty much stand out from the crowd. A lot of people are applying to jobs every single day. There's only a limited amount of recruiters and hiring managers to, go through all those resumes and applications. So these are a few ways that I've sort of used in the past to make myself stand out and also to just get in front of those hiring managers a little bit quicker than everybody else. So we'll get to that, but first, good morning. So today's an interesting day. I am working today, which is great. And I'm actually going to work from a coffee shop for a bit. So after I have a meeting, I'm going to head over to the coffee shop and maybe get some clips there as well. But when you're working remote, it's really important to get out of the house. You're usually surrounded by walls. Those are some of the walls that I usually am surrounded by. And this is usually when I work downstairs. Sometimes I work upstairs, but there are certain days where I feel kind of lonely, honestly. And even though I have, my team to talk to on Slack and emails and all that, it's always really nice to just have another human working next to you and near you. I have this coffee shop that I frequent a lot. I usually go there because it's accessible. It's pretty comfy and a big coffee shop with lots of tables and lots of different places to sit, and it just has a really welcoming energy, which I think is really important for any sort of space to have, where you're gonna have people from literally anywhere coming in and doing their work. I've been to a few co-working spaces where it's just it's very cold feeling, and I don't like that at all. So this coffee shop is one of the places where I enjoy going because it is spacious, lots of places to sit, and it has that warm, welcoming energy. So I usually end up going here, usually at least once a week, if not twice. This is my second time this week. I went yesterday, I believe. But I'm super excited to go and have myself a coffee and get some work done there. I found that just, being in that space of a coffee shop for me, and this could be different for you, but for me at least, it just gets me into that productive mindset. So I just feel really productive, really motivated. And before I know it, it's been a few hours and I got a ton of work done. It's not like at home where I have distractions. I have my dog and I have my phone. It's just an easier place to work, which is always great. But when I do go, you will know about it. So stay tuned.
I forgot my glasses. Alright, so I didn't find them. It's real great. I didn't find them. I don't know where my glasses are. So I'm wearing contacts, which isn't my preferred. But yeah, now we're gonna leave for real. The first way is to create a case study. And case study is probably the wrong word to use because it sounds intimidating, but all you're really doing is finding a few companies you want to work for. So maybe you have 5. Create a quick Google sheet with those company names, their mission, their users, things that you see that they're doing right, things that you feel passionate about, that they're solving needs for, and also just write down things that you see that they can do that would help them improve. So it can be something functionality-wise, design-wise, tech stack, engineering-wise, sales-wise, copywriting, right? So many different things depending on your role. Take a look at their product and really try to distill what areas they would benefit from having maybe a new sort of user flow, onboarding, design, copy, right? And once you have that, create a case study, right? So get all that information that you collected from that company, for that company, and then write a little bit about what you would change and why you would change it. So if you could talk to people who use the product and understand their issues that they're having, any challenges that they're having, those are great things to include in your case study because they're things that you can solve for. So you can say, okay, I think something that you should improve is the onboarding flow for your product, for your app. I talked to 5 people that use your product pretty much every day, and they said that it's super unclear why they're getting some pop-up, right, that comes up every single day at the same time. So that's something you can improve. You can improve it by giving that person more context as to why they're getting that notification or that pop-up, and then apply that to your own skill set. So if you're a designer, you can design a new onboarding workflow, maybe some more tips and hints when somebody signs up that will allow them to understand why that pop-up is coming up. So definitely apply your skill set to solving the problem. Show that you've talked to people, even if it's, even if you're fibbing a little bit, that's fine too. But you're showing that you can think, that you can problem solve, and that you can use different pieces of your experience to really improve their product. So that's my number one tip for you, and I think it's super effective, and it's a great way to beef up your portfolio online, create a blog around it, and have that just be part of your portfolio.
So we're done with coffee, had my meetings, and also just got back from another meeting about hiring for pretty much an inclusive environment and what that kind of looks like here in the city where I live. So I'm still processing a lot of that conversation, a really great conversation. But let's touch on point number 2, which is building side projects. And building side projects is one of the core reasons that catapulted me into breaking into the tech space. Got me my first job, got me my first internship, right? So showing an employer that you took the time outside of your regular full-time or part-time job to either learn a new skill and then build a project using the skill that you learned speaks very loudly of how motivated you are, how autonomous you are, and how creative you are, right? You're problem solving on the go by yourself usually when you're building these type of projects. So if you're able to use a skill that you have, whether it's in design or programming or something else, and create those side projects that can really show an employer your way of thinking, how you attack a problem, and how you deliver that solution is super important and super crucial. And posting that up on your online profile, your GitHub if you code, Dribble if you're a designer, writing a blog post if you have a role where you can't really show your work in that way, all really great ways to express your work ethic and express how it would be like working with you. And then the third point is doing research, which takes time, but essentially doing research and finding people at the company that you want to work for. There's an app called Hunter, I believe, and sort of has the same effect. It might not be the right app, but there's an app where you can pretty much look for a company or a person's name at a company, and it'll actually give you their email address. So tools like that. You can also use LinkedIn. You can literally just stalk the person and find their social media. Usually they'll have like a personal website that has their email on there. Just email them directly. You can also try and guess their email. First name period, last name at company domain, or just the first name at company domain is usually what people use. Unless you're like a large corporation and you probably have like a crazy email. But having an email that you use to outreach these people is really important. So if you can either do a cold outreach, so whether that be through LinkedIn or email, kind of sharing a bit more about yourself, that case study that you made on their company, and then also all those side projects that you put together, super important and super great way to just make you stand out for the rest of the crowd. Really shows that you took the time to research, find the problem that their company might be facing, and then showing how you can bring your value and your experience to them. Another way is getting referrals. So if you're able to get somebody to refer you or intro you to your hiring manager for that position that you're applying for, that's another really great way to do that. And then using that opportunity to show and showcase the value that you could bring to them. Whether that's in a way of a case study or a way of grabbing them for coffee and just, you know, riffing on different ideas and brainstorming a different improvements that they can make at the company. So those are three different ways, trust. And so I'll repeat them again. Number 1 is creating a case study. Number 2 is creating side projects to build up your own skill set, but also to show that you are self-learning outside of your day job, right? The third one is either doing cold outreach or getting a referral or introduction to somebody on the team that you're looking to work on. All these are really great ways to get in touch with people and then share your value that you bring to the company. It's really important to show the value that you can bring. We all have value, we all have a skill set. It's just a matter of really amplifying that skill set and putting it in front of the people that you know that you want to work with. So all really great things to try. If you want a video kind of talking about like what kind of side projects you can make for different roles, designers, programmers, product managers, let me know in the comments. Happy to make those and happy to kind of brainstorm some side projects with you. If you're looking for a co-working, a way to co-work with other people that are like-minded, just like you know, you're trying to grow your skill set, find a job, grow your online profile, presence, I have an app called Heyday, so you can find it in the description below. It's free, so you can just come join us once a week to co-work. We do that virtually over a call. And yeah, we work for an hour, get things done, and move on. So join if you can. If you can't, all good. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. I'll see you on the next one. I'm feeling really motivated right now, so I'm gonna just dive into my computer and just write out a bunch of like different thoughts that I'm having after my conversation this afternoon. Yeah.